guys, my name's CJ. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're new, which you probably are, because this is my second video ever. Today I am here to do just my everyday makeup. I work an office job. I work from 9 to 5, like, you know, the song. And usually I'll start putting makeup on around 8 o'clock in the morning, and then usually I'll get home around 6. So, I mean, it's an all-day makeup that lasts. Also, just disclaimer, I love putting makeup on. It is fun for me. It's entertaining. So, I also don't have children. So, this routine may be a little much for, you know, people who don't have the time, don't want to put in the time. I totally understand. It's a bit much, but mostly everything is drugstore. There's one or two more expensive items that I got out of a BoxyCharm, so they weren't that expensive for me, but you know, if you go buy them from the store now, they're pretty expensive. But anyway, so I'm just going to stop talking and show you how I do makeup for every single day. So I always start with something I got from BoxyCharm. It is the Touch in Sol Glassy Skin Balm. I love this. It's very moisturizing. Also, since you're new, because you are, I have oily skin, and so usually, you know, I used to steer clear of products like this just because I thought it would make me more oily. But what I've learned now is that your skin gets really oily because if you use a bunch of mattifying products, basically, then your skin's going to work into overtime to moisturize it, and it does that by producing oil. So okay, so I just rub that in a little bit, and then once I have that on, then I'll do my foundation. I love the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. It's the 24-hour one, and I wear the shade 405. I love this because it's got good coverage, nothing crazy, which I'm lucky, so I don't need crazy coverage. If you do, then just use a foundation that has more coverage, or this one you can actually build up. So foundation I will put on a brush and not a sponge, just because with a sponge it takes a little bit longer for me. So I'll just apply it. And usually in the mornings I'm in a pretty big rush because honestly I was probably playing video games on my phone until way too late. And so then all of a sudden it's 8:15 and I have to leave my house at 8:45 and I'm not even dressed. And it's a thing. But so anyway, I'll just put this everywhere, you know. And then after foundation, I'll go in with concealer. I mix the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10 Fair, and then I mix it with the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. I have it in the shade Light Peach, which is way too light for me, which is just another reason that I mix it for the shade, but also because the e.l.f. concealer dries super fast. Like, you can put like one little dot under one eye, and then by the time you put it, like you're done putting it on the other eye, this one's like drying and you gotta like go or it's not gonna look good. So it's stressful, and I feel like makeup shouldn't really stress you out, except for winged eyeliner, that's stressful. So what I do is I put on the Fit Me first because it's more hydrating, and then I will put just a dot of the e.l.f. where it needs to go. Sorry if this angle is not the greatest. I don't have a camera. I'm literally filming on my phone, and I'm using the back camera because it's better. But it's hard to tell if I'm unfocused. I have like a wall mirror right behind this phone stand that I'm using, and so that's, if I'm looking there, it's to check the view, and then if I'm looking here, it's for my like actual mirror that I use for my makeup. So oh shoot, I always put some under my nose too, because you know, under noses always super red for us ladies. So if you don't have as many problem areas, or not even problem areas, just areas you want to cover, then don't put on this much. And then, okay, this is the e.l.f. one, right? Okay, so I just put it like right there in the corner of my eye where it's like super dark. I only put it there. And then maybe if it's my time in the month and my nose is super red, I'll put a little bit there too. And then I use a beauty sponge for my concealer, especially when I'm using this e.l.f. one, just because it is so like hardcore. You know, if you're pressed for time, which I'm not right now because it's the weekend. I'm just filming my office makeup right now. I like using this sponge because I mean, I know how to use it well enough to where it's quick for me. But if you're pressed for time, use a brush. Like, you can use your fingers, girl, boy. Use whatever you got. Like, honestly, it don't matter. And then I always, okay, if you have something that like you want to cover more so, if you let it sit for a little bit longer, the coverage will like grow. It doesn't grow, but you know what I mean? It just, I don't know how it works, but it does. So if you have a hydrating concealer, do that. Don't do that with the e.l.f. one because you are in for a wild ride. That will not be fun. Okay, I'm going to actually do that trick on my under eyes right now because I had a little too much drink yesterday, and then my boyfriend wanted me to watch Star Wars with them because I've never watched it before. I know. But anyway, so I was up pretty late and was very tired, and then my dogs woke me up at 7:30 because they're assholes. Okay, so I'm just going to do this right here. And again, y'all, I know this is a lot, and I know a lot of people don't have time for this. Why is this zit? Why do I have a zit there? Who gets a zit right there? That's weird. Is that weird? I think that's kind of weird. Anyway, so I'm just going to let it sit for a second, and I'm going to drink some coffee really quick. Okay, I'm impatient. I'm just going to do it. Okay, sorry, I know I'm like all over the place, but I just want to make sure that everything's, you know, blended out. Okay, so one of the bougier things that I do use and don't really like to tell people because it's expensive and I don't even like that I love it so much, but I got it out of a BoxyCharm. So, but it's this Becca, it's the Hydra setting powder. It's the water powder. It's like 50% water. I thought I would hate it because of my oily skin, but it's my favorite powder I've ever used. Nothing like, I've used a lot of powders because, you know, when you have oily skin, everyone's like, you gotta set, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. And so I've tried a lot of powders in my day, and I have not liked anything for universal setting my under eyes, setting my face. I do not get oily with it. Like, maybe if it's hot outside, then maybe, but not nearly as oily as I will get with other powders. But, I don't know, y'all. It's so good. And it does feel really cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's not part of the reason I love it so much. I love it because it's great. And you know, it's a really good powder. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just tapping out. If I have any creases with that concealer, I'm going to tap them out. Because I'm sure you know, when you put powder over, like, makeup that's creased, you're just setting the crease. And that's not cute. You don't want to do that. Okay. Then I'm going to take this Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush. Who uses this for foundation, Luxie? You got a small face if you're using this. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe powder foundation. Maybe that. I bet you that's what it's for. But anyway, so I don't take a lot, mainly because it's expensive. Also, you don't need a lot. And I'll set my under eyes first just because those are the first to crease on me. And then I'll use a bigger brush to set the rest of my face just to save time. But, you know, for your eyes and stuff, just because that skin is so expressive. And you know, people who can't, like, don't have to set their under eyes, you are a magician. I envy you. But I do. I have to set mine, okay? I just do. And then I'll take this same smaller brush because I get pretty bad creases around my nose too. Even with this, I think everyone like kind of creases up on their nose. But just anywhere that needs like a more concentration of powder, I'll use this tinier brush. And then I'll use this bigger brush that I have. This is it's a Moda brush, right? Yeah. It's just a Moda brush. It doesn't have like a number or anything on it. I'll use this. Tap it in there, and then just set the rest of my face. Now, I don't like put a ton of powder on the rest of my face. I'll just kind of And a lot of people like don't have to set their face. I do, just because I guess I'm not that talented. Okay, so for bronzer, I use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer because I'm original and no one else uses this. Everyone uses this for good reason. It's really good. I just have the universal bronzer one, like it's not the light one or anything, which I do want to try that one, especially now because it's like winter and I'm getting super pale. But I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I'm taking this Moda Pro pointed blush brush. It's the BMX 130. Look at this handle. Is that not badass? That's a badass handle. Anyway, and then I'm going to make this super cute face. And I'm going to put on my bronzer. Now, okay, I'm sure you have noticed I have a very circular face, right? Okay, so because of this, I do contour. Nothing not with this bronzer. This I'm solely just bronzing because I'm pale and just because it looks good and it brings life into your face. But after this, I will do a little more pinpointed contour just because with my face shape, I feel as if I need it. Maybe you don't think so, and thank you, you're very kind. If you don't feel the need to contour your face, don't do it. If you got some good cheekbones, first of all, I'm jealous. Second of all, you don't have to contour or anything. I mean, you don't have to contour. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I contour because I like it. And also, okay, if you notice, I'm not very like, I'll start with the pinpointed areas, the socially accepted spots for bronzer. The cheekbones. I have a tiny forehead, so I don't do like the whole thing. I'll touch right here just because it looks more natural. And then I'll definitely go underneath my jawline because it was Thanksgiving and also I've just gained a lot of weight now that I'm no longer in school and walking miles to class every day on LSU's campus. But I'll just put bronzer pretty much everywhere. So then anyway, then I pick up this bad boy. Now, I only use this because I got it out of a BoxyCharm. Okay. I don't know if I would pay the money for this by myself. I just don't. It's the Tarte Park Ave Princess, and I love it. I do love it. But I think you can get singular contour shades from the drugstore anywhere. Maybe I'll do like, I should do a video about that, huh? Like the best contour colors from the drugstore. I think that'd be a good video. Okay, anyway, so this is what it looks like. It has 6 colors. I use 3. I use this cooler tone. Is this the cool tone? No. This is the cooler tone one in Princess Cut. I use that one to contour. And then I'll use these 2 lighter ones, like the yellow and the pinker one. I'll use those to kind of like highlight my under eye and my nose. Okay, so when I do the contour, I take this brush. Well, I really, just any like smaller, thinner kind of brush like this. This is it's another Moda brush. These have no numbers, but it's like an angled, you see, it's cool. It's a good brush. So then I dip into Princess Cut, this one, okay? Tap off the excess because you don't want excess, then you just look crazy. Okay, then do the sucky in face. And always start up at the tip of like where your ear meets your head, right here. Always start there. So, okay, even if your cheekbones are low, you just want to start there because that's where, if you had high cheekbones, which that's usually the thing people want to emulate is having higher cheekbones, that's where they would start if they were naturally high, I'm pretty sure. And so you always want to have more definition there than you do on this part of your face because just, you don't have, like, no one has, like, crazy, except, what's that model's name? Rosie Huntington. That girl, she's got some cheekbones, though. Hers go in, but even if I couldn't fool anyone into thinking I had that kind of face. Okay. So, y'all, I'm using like 3 mirrors, and I apologize. As I said, this is my second video. Well, I filmed a few more, but they were trash. So if I'm just all over the place, that's why. But anyway, I'm going to do the same thing to this cheek. Okay. But anyway, so that's the only place that, well, and then I'll like kind of add a little bit more right here because that's where the double chin lives. It's where he takes up space and resides. Okay. So I'll do that. And that is that for like the big brush. Then this is where it's probably going to turn you off a little bit because it's a lot for every day, but I have insecurities, okay? And I have found ways to make them lessened. So that's what I'm doing. So I have a very wide nose, if you have not noticed, okay? Wide face, wide nose, just wide, okay? So I contour my nose. You don't have to. I'm sure you have a beautiful nose, and I'm envious, which I think mine's beautiful too. I just like it better when it's contoured. Okay, so I'll take this little brush. I think it's just like a shadow brush, honestly, but I use it for contour. And I will dip just the tip in it, into that same contour shade, okay, into the princess cut. And then I'll make this even cuter face, okay? I'll like flare my nose, like, ugh. So it's like straighter. And then I'll just take this shade. Can you see me? Yeah, okay. I'll just take this shade right here and just go along the sides of the nose. Now, I know a lot of people do much more like structured, intense nose contour. And this I have found is like my happy medium, to where it's like, it's structured and stuff, but it's not too harsh. Just because I do it so much now, and now it's quick for me. Okay, so then anyway, then the second step to doing the contour that I have like just started doing recently, and it's made a light year of difference. Okay, I'll take the same brush because I only put the contour shade on the tip. I'll take the little flatter side, and I will dip into both Enhance and Halo, these two. The yellow is to brighten, and the pink is really good at counteracting those blue colors just in my inner corner. So I'll tap into both, tap off the excess, and then I'll go like right here. Can you see? Yeah, like right here in the corner of my eye where it's like super dark. And then what I've been doing is I will bring it down. I'm trying to make sure y'all can see me, but I don't know. Here, I'm going to try and just use I'm just using the mirror behind the camera. I will bring these same brighter colors right underneath where I put that contour shade. And it just gives it a little more sharpness, I guess, because there's more of a contrast between. And so I'll do the same thing on this side. Anyway, so now that that's done, I will do my eyeshadow. If I'm in a super rush, I'll just use that butter bronzer. I'll use that as eyeshadow, and I'll just put it in my crease under my lower lash line and call it a day. So you can do that with whatever bronzer, or I could use that contour palette. I could have, but instead I'm going to use this oh wait, no, that's not drugstore. Crapo. Okay, well, you know what? This is not drugstore, but it's ColourPop. And it's not the cheapest one that they have, but it's the only one I have because I love Kathleen Lights. But this is the So Jaded palette. I love this. I use this all the time. Not so much when I'm in a rush, just because there's a lot of shades. Like, I'm sure you've seen this 1,000,005 times, but there's a bunch of shades. So sometimes, like, I'll get carried away, like, making a look, and then I'll be, like, super late to work. So there's that. Usually I will go into Rose Quartz first, this shade up here. And then I'll just use that to kind of start. Oh, dang, why didn't I use something with a mirror? I'm just going to use this mirror. Okay, I'm not using this palette, but I'm just going to use this mirror so stay on camera. Okay, I'm going to take that Rose Quartz shade, right? That's what it's called. Yes, Rose Quartz. Okay, that's the shade I'm using right now. And I'll just kind of build that up. I have pretty tiny eyes, so I usually don't go right like into my crease. I kind of go a little bit above it as well, just because I don't have much lid space like at all. And so if I were to do it just in the crease, there would be no room for anything else. It would just be a transition color. And I will, instead of, you know, I'll have it in the crease, but then I'll kind of bring it in right here too, just on the outer V. So once I have that pretty blended, then I will take, I'll take this is like a, Bestow brush. It's like a cheap brush off Amazon. It works. It's like a little shader brush. Then I'll take a little more compact brush. I love this one. It's a BS small brush, probably also from Amazon. But it's a little like smaller and more precise. And then I'm going to go into, what am I going to go into? I'll go into Carnelian. This one right here, this like little reddish color. And ColourPop shadows, this is actually, this is the only ColourPop palette that I've ever owned. These shadows are so easy to work with. Oh my goodness, like they're so good. So I put it on here, tapped off the excess, and then I start just kind of putting it in this outer V right here. And then, you know, once I've kind of tapped off some of the product on my eye, then I'll start blending it in the crease again. I'm gonna take a little bit more. Let's do that. You don't even have to do like this other shade. What I always do is, as long as I have something like a transition color in the crease, so that rose quartz shade, as long as I have that, and then Geodude on the lid, and then like something on the lower lash line, I love it. Okay, and then once all the pigment's off, I'll go in and just kind of blend more so into the inner corner, just because I tend to get like a little bit of creasing right there, or not creasing, but like, I don't know, you want it to look blended, or maybe you don't. I don't know your life. Then I'm gonna take this, just like a flat little brush, whatever. This one is a Luxie 213 eye shading brush, and then I'm going to take Geodude. Okay, I'm gonna take him and then just put him all over the lid. And then I'll use, I'll have to dip in a couple times. But then after I have it all on the lid where I want it, I'll use just, you know, the front of the brush or the top of the brush and just kind of blend it into those transition colors. Because you don't really want like that harsh, you know what I mean? After my lid, then I'm going to take the same colors and incorporate them right on my lower lash line. I'm the kind of person, I always have to have color on my lower lash line. Some people don't. I actually like kind of like darkness down there. So what I am going to do actually is I'm going to use this. It's a tiny little, it's to pack on shades, honestly, but I don't like it for that. I like just dipping the top into a dark shade and then putting that dark shade on my lower lash line. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dip into the shade Stoned right there. It's that dark brown. Okay, so I'm going to take that color, just dip it onto the tip of this brush, tap off the excess, and then I don't go right against my lash line. I mean, I go very close, obviously, but because my eyes are small, I like to kind of go down a little bit, kind of faking like my lash line is lower, if that makes sense. And then I'll just put the darkness mainly in this outer corner and then drag the dark color inward a little bit. And I just like having it dark down there. I've always kind of been that way. Some people might not like it. I do. I think it's pretty. And I'm going to do the same thing to this eye. And then after I have that, I'm going to take this one. This one's perfect for it. It's the Luxie mini tapered brush. It's 121. And then I'm going to dip into the same Geodude shade as before, just to incorporate that color since it's on the top, also on the bottom. And you can do this with any of the colors. You can, you know, either of the colors that I had used in the transition. Just, you want to have like the same kind of shade gradient on the top and bottom. At least I do. I don't know. And then the last thing I always do is I've kind of been into a matte inner corner, so like a light color, you know, to have some light. But I don't know, for some reason, like whenever I use a shimmery color in the inner corner, it looks like I have eye boogers. Is that normal? No. Okay. So the perfect color for it is this My Precious color right here. It's just a matte bone color. I don't go super clean, like putting a brown bone shade on there. I just kind of go like, nope, and just do that. Also, if the angle changed, which I'm sure it did because my setup is garbage, my phone had run out of memory, like right at the end of me putting on my eyeshadow, so I had to move everything around so that I could upload that first video file to my computer. It's really professional, the setup that I have. Am I even on the camera? I think so. I can't freaking tell. Same thing. Boom, done. Boom. So now what I'm going to do is I like putting on my highlighter before my blush. I just do. This one is the Essence Pure Nude. I think it's like $3, maybe a little more expensive, but it's the best highlighter. I don't care what you say. It's the best one. And it's in the shade 10 Be My Highlight. I don't know if they have actually any other ones, but I love this. It just gives the most perfect natural highlight, like nothing crazy. I don't want to look like I'm sweating all the time. I don't know. And I don't know. It's just beautiful. It makes my cheeks look healthy and just, I don't know. I love how it looks. So I like using one of these big brushes, especially with this one. If I was using a more intense highlight, like a more intensely pigmented one, I would use a smaller, more precise brush. But this one I like because this highlighter is just so natural, you know? So I just use that and just do it kind of in that little C. And I don't even know. I mean, I'm using a phone camera. You probably can't even tell the difference, but in person you totally can, and it's just so pretty. I love this. Like, this is a step I rarely ever skip. Okay, so after I have that, then I'll go ahead and put blush on really fast. I'll put on a shimmery blush today, why not? I really love this one. It's the Milani Luminoso that everyone loses their shit over, for a good reason. It's an excellent blush. I think it's beautiful. So I'm gonna put that on. I'm just gonna use this and then smile and put this on the apples of my cheeks. And the reason I like putting blush on last, it helps blend in the bronzer and the highlight and make it just kind of all a seamless color. And it just looks more natural because for my face, at least, I don't have naturally contoured cheeks or a naturally bronzed face. I have naturally rosy cheeks though. So I think putting that on top is like the final thing. It works for my skin. I'll just do mascara. I have been loving, okay, I've always loved this since I tried it a few months ago, the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. Love this one. It's so great. And then I've actually been using this Milani, the Violet one lash primer. I've never been a huge lash primer person, like, because I hate putting mascara on, and so this just like, it feels like an extra step to me. But I really have noticed how much it thickens my lashes. I really like the primer. I think it actually does make a difference, and a lot of primers don't, from what I've heard. I haven't tried a lot of them. So I'm going to curl my eyelashes because I have the most stick straight lashes of life. And then I'm gonna take the primer. Now the primer, the packaging kind of sucks. Like, it comes out all goopy and crap. So I'm gonna wipe most of it off on this thing. I take the side with the longer bristles. Oh, goodness gravy. I just got it on my thing. Okay, then I'm going to take the CoverGirl and just go over it twice. See? Don't they look good? And then I'm just going to run this on my lower lash line without dipping back into the bottle, just because I don't want to have too much on the... Now the last thing that I do, which I know we've been here for like 10 hours and I'm sorry, it feels that way for me at least, is I do my eyebrows. Now I have pretty, you can probably tell, my eyebrows are like pretty, you know, they're a decent thickness. There's a lot of sparseness in them, like some bald spots that I prefer to have filled in. The only brow pencil that I use, I have tried the Anastasia and the Anastasia one. I've tried the Anastasia one before, and I mean, it was good. It's not worth like $21, $23. That's crap. This one is like $3, I think. Maybe it probably is like around 5 or 6. It's in that area. It's the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. It's in the shade Brunette. It is the perfect shade. It is not too red. It is just great. It's great. How many times can I say great? Probably a lot more because I talk a lot. So I just go in with very light strokes and just mainly focus on where I have bald spots. And then, yeah. And no, my eyebrows never match. Do I care? Nope. And okay, this one does have a spoolie on it, the LA Girl one, but I like this spoolie better. It's just, I don't know, it's one of the like the double-ended ones. I just like it better because it's thicker and it works faster. Then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eyebrow. Well, not the same thing, because like I said, they never match. Brush it out one more time. And I do like the whole feathery eyebrow little trend right now. I think it's super cute. It's super fresh. So I do that. I keep, I have them brushed up, you know, a little bit more than a lot of people enjoy. Which I don't go too crazy with it, but I like it. Now, if you have an eyebrow gel or whatever, you know, or you just don't care about setting them, you're done. Bye. Have a nice day. I hope you enjoy this video. But because I'm a little bit extra, I like to set my eyebrows. And I set them with soap. It's that little soap brow thing that everyone used to talk about. I was just spraying my brush with some like random face spray. Just get it a little wet. If your eyebrows are lighter, then maybe you can't use soap because it would be too light. This is a bar of soap that I stole from a condo we stayed in Colorado a few years ago. So yes, I have not, this was free. Shh. Okay, so after I wet my little spoolie and, can you see? Here, I'll just do it like that. So yeah, that was good, okay. And just rub it in the eyebrow. And there we go. And then I like to spray my face because it makes just my face look less makeup-y. I kind of think all face sprays are made equal. The spray itself, not the sprayer or the scents, but they're all the same thing. So I've been using this Revlon Photo Ready one. It's in the cucumber scent. The scent's a little strong. And I think if you inhale it, it's a little much. I mean, it is a little much because I've inhaled it before and like choked. So if you're sensitive to, I'm just gonna use a postcard to try. If you're sensitive to fragrance and stuff, you might not want to use that one. But yeah, that's it. Then what I'll usually do is go wipe the foundation off of my mouth. And then I have a eyelash curler that I keep in my car. And so like once my eyelashes are fully dry, so like 15 or 20 minutes after I'm done with my makeup, I'll just recurl them because it makes it last, like the curl lasts longer. But after that, I'll just go wipe the foundation off my mouth, put on some lip liner if I'm feeling frisky. If not, I'm probably not. I'll put on some tinted lip balm. I have a Burt's Bees one that I really like. I don't like a bunch of lip stuff. It's not my forte. But anyway, so I'm gonna go do that so I don't end this video with a chapped mouth. Okay. So what I was saying is I really like this Burt's Bees tinted lip balm. It's the one in hibiscus. It's really good. It's just a light little flush of color. So, you know, it gives me some life to my face, but nothing too crazy. So anyway, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this very it's not intense, but I hope you enjoyed this makeup look. I know it's a lot, as I've said a bajillion times in this video, but I enjoy putting makeup on, and it just makes me feel better about my job that I don't like very much. So I hope you took some tips or tricks away from this video. I hope you like. I'll hope you subscribe. I hope you will subscribe. That's what I meant. And thumbs up. Isn't that what people say? Thumbs this video up. And yeah, have a good day. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Bye.